This week, coming up from the ashes. So let me just bring up really quick the game that Arson rage quit before he even played it. Arson, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Suicide
If I forgot,
Squad kill the Justice League.
okay, yeah, no. That isn't even just madness. That's just like absolute disdain.
Yeah.
I just can't look at that. I can't look at its direction.
I just felt like I was going to bring that up just for the heck of it.
Worthy of attention, and you should shame yourself for even bringing it up in this episode.
Dude, the way you raged on that during the Batman episode, man, you just went at it. So it was like, come on now, we
deserved it. And they have the gall to bring a knockoff freaking Jonkler. What the hell?
See, here we go again.
Alright, let's set up the scene. You come home from work after a long, exhausting day. You boot up your console, thinking you're gonna have a good time. Or PC, whatever. You suddenly rage, you throw your controller, you smash your keyboard, whatever, yada yada yada. This is known as Madness Syndrome. Welcome to From the Ashes. The date is April 4th. I am your host, Arsonist Clown, and with me are my three friends who will introduce themselves right now.
Well, hello. I am the co-host for today, and also it is April 1st. So, I hope you guys
move along with it. I'm confident. I'm on the streak. Let's go.
Okay. Yes, I am your co-host, Phoenix.
I changed my mind. Flerp is my co-host.
Wow, you can't do that. Sorry, not happening.
I'm the host. I can do it. I have the temporary power. I will take advantage of it while I got it, and it's the stuff.
Wow, Flerp, go ahead.
Hola, ¿dónde está la biblioteca? I am Flerp Maderp. I am here to just talk about video games that piss me off.
See.
And also, it's April 1st.
And that leads us to what, Arson?
That leads us to our guest, because Amanda isn't here. She's still recovering in the hospital for some reason. So we brought in a new friend. Phoenix, why don't you introduce them?
Well, our new friend hails... Oh, jeez. You just ruined it for me. Well, our new friend hails from the skies. His name is Raven. How you doing, Raven?
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I didn't realize we were playing a PS1 game with that kind of dialogue.
Hello. How do you want to start your quest today? No. I am good.
What's good to know? That's also something a PS1 dialogue would say.
Now, adventurer, I will pay you a good... Oh, I'm sorry.
It's good to know you're good.
It is.
All right. Well, yeah, we brought an NPC along today for our podcast to replace Amanda for now.
We got him cheap.
Whenever the fuck she decides to come back.
Well, you know, it's her hospital bill, not ours. We don't actually pay. We don't provide medical care for anybody here.
We tell you you get insurance, but you don't.
As I said in the beginning, if you didn't get the subject already, we are here to talk about games that drive us mad. Now, this could range from anything from being stuck on a puzzle, a PvP game you just absolutely despise and had enough of, or maybe just Dead by Daylight. We are here to discuss our infamous moments with many of our experiences with these games that we decided to spend money on for some reason. To kick things off will be Phoenix, because he has 7 games to pick from, and I think getting the bulk of this out of the way is probably the smart thing to do. See, I'm strategizing.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, I have chosen, I wanted to keep this between 1 to 3 games, but there's been so many games that's upset me over the years, and none other like Dead by Daylight's one of them, but we can talk about that later because I'm sure that's gonna like be a topic here in a bit for everybody besides Raven, because Raven doesn't play it. But neither here or there. Let's kick off my short list with a game that goes back to the original Nintendo, and it's called Shadowgate. This game was. Has anybody ever played like Myst or the Riven, the sequel to Myst, or anything like that? So, if not, Shadowgate's kind of like a puzzle game. You go into this like castle dungeon-esque thing, and it just shows you the room, and you got to make choices and figure out. It's kind of like a puzzle room, and you get through that room and go to another, and you go to another and go to another, and you figure all this stuff out and get through the game. And that game gave me so much issues in my head for a long time. I did beat it. Me and a friend of mine beat it. It was like our game that we played, but it was absolutely crazy hard. They do have an updated version of it on Steam, and they also had one on the 64, on the Nintendo 64, called Shadowgate 64. But it was a good game. I enjoyed it, but it was also like one of those games that just like made me want to pull my hair out, and so there's that.
I'm just
Also,
gonna point something out.
yes.
It was like a game. Wasn't it a game?
Wait, when did I say it was like a game?
You said it was like a game. Well, wasn't it a game? Isn't that the point here?
No, it was torture. That's what it was.
Oh, my bad.
So now moving on from that, let's go from old to new. The newest game that's in my library, I got it kind of for free, so I can't be too upset about it. Because while I do my streaming, I do this thing called Dare Drops, and I got this through a Dare Drop. So, and it's called Stargate Timekeepers. If anybody's seen my stream that day that I did Stargate Timekeepers, will understand. I had this game on easy, okay, and it was like baby mode, and I couldn't get past the tutorial. I was on it for an hour and 45 minutes when I just was like, I'm done. Like, I will never pick this game up again. I'm done. And I literally dropped it, and I have not played it since. It was super hard to get through. I died so many times trying to get through the beginning, and it was horrible. Did any of you guys see me play that?
No.
Oh, dude.
No.
I don't recommend it. And I was all excited about this game. Like, you can ask Raven, because Raven's a big Stargate fan too. And like, I was all for it. And then all of a sudden I played it and I messaged him. I was like, yeah, no.
And that's kind of disappointing too, because I kind of want to. I still kind of want to try it.
I mean, hey, if you feel like trying it, go for it. You may have a better, experience than I did. And who knows? I may actually go back and try it again, but it's not anytime soon. So that's two. Another game that pissed me off, and yes, I said pissed me off from time to time, was GTA 5 Online. But that had to do with players, like douchebags that would come in.
Yeah, I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to even explain anything else.
Right.
You just have to play GTA Online, and that.
Gotcha.
Granted, back then when it first started, it was actually pretty fun, and I guess like the RP servers are still really good and all that.
Yeah.
It's just like the vanilla normal
the
online
base,
crap
yeah,
is
it's crap.
absolutely terrible.
Yes, agreed.
Especially with all the new vehicles that are basically war machines that can go 150 miles per hour, or the freaking Oppressor Mark II. That's
the Oppressor Mark II is a fun one though to use. So that basically speaks for itself. Arson's correct. Another game that made me kind of rage out real quick was Fallout 76. And that was at the beginning. I got it, with a bunch of friends during the launch, and we tried it out, and it was so laggy, and so it would take forever to load into the servers. Things would crash all the time. It was horrible. like one of the worst gaming experiences of my life, and to this day I still won't go back to it. And Arson laughs because he's heard me talk about it before. So but Fallout
No, the funny
76,
thing is, I played it with a friend, and I actually had a pretty good time.
well, that's when it first came out.
Yeah.
All of us, it was bad. So I kind of raged on that and just decided I was gonna step out. I don't know if I'll ever go back to playing that again, but yeah, who knows. Let's see. I've got 3 more games on here. Next one is Deadpool. Deadpool is a great game, but I got to a point in the story. It was right after you crash on Genosha, and you face one of these bosses, and he hops all over the place, and I could not beat him. I could not beat him like at all. And I have replayed it and 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 replayed it. I started to trip my words up there at the end. But anyways, so needless to say, I tried, but I could not do it. And that's a game that I still haven't passed to this day. And I tried playing it again for a stream a little bit ago, and I didn't get to that point yet. But you know, so yeah, that's a game. The Deadpool game is great. I love the voice acting in it. I love everything about it. It's so much fun. I love the Deadpool character. He's so cool. And you know, it's just a really good game, except for I just can't get past that part, and so I gave up. Next one is Final Fantasy X. Now, Final Fantasy X is one of my all-time cherished games. I love it a lot, but what got to me was what drove me mad about the game was the boss reveal. Okay, and sorry for spoilers, but this game is older than probably Arson. So, you know, that being said, I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say this, but when you find out that the main boss in a Final Fantasy game is a big turtle, it kind of ruins it for you. It's just like, are you serious? You have to fight a turtle? And it just really drove me upset. Like it made me rage a little bit. I mean, I still love the game. I love everything it brings that is brought about to it. I absolutely love it. I just don't like the boss. And that leads me to the one that Arson ruined already before the podcast. And that is Far Cry 5.
I knew it.
Far Cry 5 was an amazing story. Like, a great journey from beginning to the end. And I would have nothing bad to say about it, except for I do. Because again, spoiler, but this game is not new. There's already a 6 out, and you know, probably a 7 in development or whatever. But
there's a 6 out, and they already made a spin-off sequel to 5, so you literally have nothing to miss.
there you go. So basically, Far Cry 5 is a great game. It's dang near perfect. And when you get to the end, and you basically die. It just made me want to rage so bad because it. Oh my gosh!
What ending did you get? There's like 2 endings, 3.
Well, I got the one where I basically Oh no! Wait a minute. Well, there was a death in one, but another one that I got was the one where I actually joined their side, and it just really irked me that
joined their side. You mean like the bunker one?
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember.
I was about to say there is really no joining them. It's just like the first ending is like at the beginning where you don't arrest them and then you guys leave.
That's not
the second one is like you guys like, you know, before the final boss or showdown, you just dip out, and then like while you guys are driving back, he plays the radio that, you know, brainwashes you, and you end up killing yourself along with your allies. And then the final one is like you beat him, and then victory is right there in your hands. And then bam, the bombs drop, and then like before you could even make it to the bunker, all of your allies die except the scumbag that you were
Okay.
supposed to arrest, and then he drags you to the bunker, and then you're trapped with him for like 18 or so years.
Okay, so I got a little confused, but it was that last one.
Well, there you go then.
That is the one I got, and I don't know how I thought of the other one, but sorry. The one that I got was that one exactly, because because I wanted to beat the game, you know, and I didn't know you could like beat it early on like that. Like as soon as you start playing it, apparently, if you refuse or whatever, isn't that what you said?
Yeah, it's like a secret ending. It's been like a thing since 4.
So basically, yeah, I got that ending where we won and drove off and big boom and got drugged back, and yeah, it was really really upsetting that happened. Even the second one would have been bad, like the brainwashing. Oh my gosh, like all of them are horrible. I'm just saying,
It's a
like,
Far Cry game. What did you expect?
that was the first one I ever played.
Well, then you clearly didn't know what you got yourself into.
I didn't at all. But
I'm lucky enough to have played the game since 3, so I already know. Even if the good guy wins, he doesn't come out the same way. He comes out definitely a different person. You don't just murder. You don't murder over 1,000 mercenaries and over hundreds of thousands of animals and come back the same man you once were.
yeah, that's true. But also, I've still yet to finish 6. I've played through some of it, so I'm still waiting to get through the game. But I'm expecting the same results to an extent.
I've finished 5 and 6 with a friend.
Yeah.
They're just so fun. 5 was the game where we bonded the most over. That was like very early on in our friendship. So 5 is a game that we had a lot of fun with. And yeah, the ending was upsetting, but I didn't care because we did a little sort of story thing where that was his story. So he got the bad ending. So I was laughing about that.
Yeah, see, I was playing with a friend too, and during that game, it was my story. So yeah, I get that. I was just really not happy about that makeup of the game. But other than that, you know, those are the top games that I can think of that I thought of offhand at the time, and I wrote them down. Minus the one that I'm sure we'll bring up here soon. But that's it for me. That's all I got.
All right, solid picks. What about you guys? You guys got anything to say about his picks? You guys have been pretty silent over there.
I've been sitting here listening, being a goo boy. But I'm currently playing through Far Cry 5, and I'm glad to know that the ending is going to suck. So, but otherwise, yeah, we got some pretty solid picks there.
What can I say except you're welcome?
What can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome. Oh my gosh, that's so funny that you're playing through that.
Again, it's like I said, it's a Far Cry game. You really shouldn't expect anything good to happen at the end.
Yeah, well, it's a far cry from a good game.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I see that. That's good.
That was good. What about you, Raven? Anything on anything?
I mean, I have lots of opinions, none of them relevant to our discussion, but you know. No, on your picks, no. I mean, I don't really have anything. Like I said, other than this whole Stargate thing, I'm still kind of, I still want to try.
I think you should. But then, you know, because if you get past that, you're going to be bragging to me about it, like ha 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 ha. And if you don't, you're gonna be like, yeah, you were right.
Oh no, I'm totally gonna get past the tutorial just so I can look at you and say, I did it. Why didn't you?
It took me 3 months, but I got past it.
Oh, you're being generous. I was thinking more like 6, but hey, that works.
Oh gosh, I got so far into that. I'm assuming, like, I probably was pretty close to the end, but they give you so many obstacles to get past, and it just I stands all like it stands, and I can't stand no more. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So they want to make sure you know how to play their video game.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're wanting. Yeah, sure. So
We'll go with that.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's it for me.
All right, moving on. We will choose between one of you two. You guys want to play rock paper scissors to see who goes next?
You're the boss.
I
You
throw
need to
spot.
make.
How the fuck do you expect us to do that?
Yeah,
All right, everybody, turn your cameras on. Let's go.
I'll
yeah,
flip
yeah. You turn on your cameras, or I don't know. Phoenix, you keep the coin.
I'll flip a
Whatever you guys-
double-sided
whichever you
coin.
guys choose.
Flerp actually did turn on his camera.
Hold on, wait a minute.
There,
Oh.
Phoenix. You can be the announcer since the viewers can't see.
All right, here we go. And start. Oh, look at that. Raven wins.
Looks like Raven wins.
Raven
All right,
chose
Raven.
scissors, and Flerp chose paper. No one chose Spock.
So now he gets to rage about rock paper scissors because that's a game that works.
That's true.
Yeah, but before he does that, since you're the winner, you get to go next. So go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. I, unlike Phoenix, have one, and this one drove This one drove me batty until I actually finally beat it. Okay, and I would say you could ask my mother how well this one went, but God rest her soul, she's been dead for 14 years, so you really can't. So you don't even know if I'm lying or not at this point. Haha. Anyway. This harkens back to the days. Now, first of all, keep in mind, I am not a console gamer. I have not played a console since Sega Master System in the late 80s, early 90s, okay?
Are you serious?
I am serious. I don't typically console game. I've tried a few console games since then, but I am just not a big console gamer. I am a PC gamer.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, which is funny because I use a speed pad, which is basically like a console game. But anyway, I know, right? Anyway, so this goes back to Sega Master System, and the game was called Zillin, and I doubt anybody ever heard of it because I've done look back on it over the years, and there's not many people that ever have talked about this game. Apparently, it was like a one-off from Sega. That they did that never got a whole lot of traction out in the real world. But I had it. I played this game. It probably took me a good 3 to 4 months to finally beat it. Which is, relatively long in console gaming, depending on the game you play. Now, granted, since this was a side scroller, it probably shouldn't have taken me 3 months, but I'm an idiot. So that was probably part of it. But yeah, I got this probably right before school let out, and I spent all summer, hours a day, all summer trying to beat this game. It got to the point that literally my living room looked like a war room. It's one of those maze puzzle games where you had to figure out how to get through all the mazes. You had to go, backtrack a couple of rooms to turn this thing off and then turn this on and then come back forward. And okay, this, now you can move on. Now you got to backtrack another couple of rooms and you got to kill these things. And oh, by the way, you can't shoot through this. You've got to go and, and then it was a pain. But I literally turned my living room into a war room. I had graph paper. I had, pictures that I photocopied of just random people just to make it look like I was looking for terrorists, had them, tacked up and things like that. I was drawing maps, taking notes when you go, things like when you go into this room, make sure you duck at this point and, you got 3 seconds to do this. But I did. I finally beat it after about 3 to 4 months. And as soon as I beat it, I was like, yes, I did it. And so I went back and I did it again and I beat it a little bit faster, of course, the next time, because then, of course, I've got all the notes. I know what I'm doing, right? After I beat it the second time, I chucked that thing in the garbage and I never played it again. Oh, God, it drove me absolutely nuts. I would rage at the thing. It got to the point that my mom would walk into the living room and go, do not throw that controller at that TV again. Okay. It just, it was.
Fuck you, Mom. I do what I want.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, that was my one rager of a game. For the most part, if I get frustrated with something, if I can't figure out a game within about the first 20 minutes of playing it, I don't even play it. Because it's not worth my time trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Most games are so straightforward that you should be able to kind of figure them out, and not spend, a couple of hours and get frustrated at the tutorial. Not gonna say any names, but
you cut out when you did that. That was great.
I guess it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. But yeah, that's that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So you want to hear something funny? They actually made a sequel to it.
Did they really?
Yep. It's called Zillin 2, the Tri-Formation. The Tri-Formation.
I thought the Tri-Formation was a porno.
You would.
Again, I downloaded the wrong movie.
You actually played the porno version this whole time.
But it was
no wonder I
also
couldn't figure it out.
Well, it was also on the Master System, which is kind of funny because a friend of mine had the Master System. I never had that at all because it's by the time he got it, like shortly after that, it seemed like they were already trying to push out the Genesis.
The Genesis, yeah.
So, but the Master System had some great games on it.
It did.
Yeah, it did. But I have. You are correct. I have never heard of that game ever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of people have.
I just wanted to let you know that there was a sequel.
Oh, and you know what? Maybe I'll go and try to find the sequel and see if I can download a ROM of it from somewhere. And because I got RetroArch working on my computer, and I've also got a RetroPie that I can play all the old console games on because
it's
how I love console games.
Yeah.
But most of them are the old Sega Master Systems that Sega Master System ones that I played, as a kid. So it was kind of harkens back to that. But maybe I'll try to go find that and download that and try to play that and see if I rage again.
You'd probably be better off finding the whole pack of, because I'd say the whole library of Sega Master Systems probably like 200 megabytes, if that. if that,
yeah, something like that.
I'm being generous, but in the same sense, a lot of that stuff is like that would be definitely public domain, so it wouldn't be a bad thing to try. So yeah,
I think I'm gonna go try that and see if I can find that. I didn't know they made a sequel. That's hilarious.
Well, the first thing I did is I searched, and then it said Zillin, and then Zillin 2. I'm like, well, he obviously didn't get his facts correct on that one.
Not that I didn't get my facts correct on that one. I just didn't know that they had made one. It was, like I said, it was such a, even people who, I knew had Master Systems. Hey, you ever play Zillin? No. What is it? Oh, all right. Never mind.
All right.
All right. So that was a deep, touching subject about a video game that I'm never going to play. Especially after hearing about it.
That's childhood traumas there. You're gonna make fun of my traumas, really?
Well,
we're gonna go there.
Speaking of childhood traumas, we're gonna make like my dad, and we're gonna leave, but we're actually gonna come back after this ad break.
Wow.
We'll be going to get the milk right now.
Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. We're here for the Tour Championship.
JT, what's happening? You ready?
What's up, Q?
What's up, fellas? We got 4.
Hey, kids. Guess who?
Every time with this guy.
Oh, boy.
Let's make this interesting.
Look what I found at the thrift store.
That doesn't belong to you.
The one that got away.
I got this jacket, and I got this game, too.
You think you can beat me at PGA Tour 2K21?
Let's take it to the course, Pop.
It's a pretty hot start here at Eastlake.
You're about to be schooled, Q.
It's gonna get wet, I think. Ow! Q, this is where the real pros make their money.
And I make money all day. What I tell you.
Damn!
I'm The Miz, and I'm awesome!
Let's go!
Oh, yeah!
Woo! Ow! Got it!
Yeah! This isn't real golf! You like that?
Let's go.
You work so hard. Why do I lose so much? I'm gonna get back at you guys. I will practice.
All right, kids, I'm back with the milk. We're going to go ahead and let Arson take this.
You actually came back?
Daddy.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
Move on from that. Thanks, Raven. That was surprisingly in-depth and very analytical for an NPC from the PS1 era.
Well, you're welcome. Now, adventurer, if you would accept another quest. Oh, I'm sorry.
I actually hopped on the YouTube and looked up that Zillin game, and it looks like something that would piss me off. So,
oh yeah,
your blood boiling just thinking about it.
I'm gonna have to go to therapy now because of this.
That's okay. We induce trauma in our guests all the time.
Hold
Oh,
on,
sweet.
you do know Raven still has every one of those notes put away in a box somewhere, right? He's just waiting for the day to pull out that war room and do it all over again.
You're not wrong, okay? I keep a lot of this weird kind of archivey stuff, and yeah, they probably are in a box somewhere.
So, for those that don't know, I've known Raven for the better part of 20 years, if not longer. And it's so I know it pretty well. I was kind of joking there, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did have it.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying. It's probably true.
All right. Well, Arson, what's next on the agenda?
Oh, I guess I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go next because I hate going last in these podcasts. Or I hate going last or second to last.
Flerp, I was thinking that. If you ain't Flerp, you're last. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, I'm not really gonna go too deep into this. I brought 2 games to the table. I could have brought a lot more, but I'm gonna keep it short. One of these games, the main one that I brought, is actually one that me and my friend did. We finished quite recently, not that recently, but we finished like in I think January or February, early February. And this game is a game that we were thinking about buying, but we waited until it was free so we could play it together. And this game is called Evil West. It is a third person
Arson, do
Yes.
not spoil anything. I'm literally playing through it right now. I literally paused it to do that.
Oh!
Are you serious?
Yes,
What the hell?
literally, game is paused to do podcast, to unpause after podcast and continue.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna have to do. Flerp, turn your mic back on, or your camera back on, and take your headset off while we discuss this.
I mean, I could just discuss like some of the. All right, whatever. He's taking it off.
It's good. Okay, now go ahead and. I mean, I don't want you to like change the format of whatever you're doing, so I will let him know when we're done.
No, okay, yeah, okay. So, Evil West is a third-person action shooter free-flow fighting game. And you step into the shoes of some cowboy dude. You're part of a extermination agency that fights like vampires and parasites and all that crap.
Yeah.
And that seemed fine on paper. You know, you're like this. You're this decked out. You're this decked out hunter. With like an electric gauntlet, you know, all sorts of weapons, your trusty revolver and all that. But me and my friend did our entire first playthrough in co-op. Now, a lot of people might like this game, and that's fine. I think I could see that, but that's probably because they played solo. The co-op is fucking dog shit. It is terrible. There's so many problems with it. there's a bit of problems with the combat, but that's probably because in co-op, if we played the game in co-op, do not play the game in co-op. It's probably a fine enough game if it's in co-op. The story's but in co-op it is absolutely terrible. You and your partner usually get in the way of like, cause all right, I guess I should break down the combat really fast, really quick. The combat is broken off into these like little arenas.
Yeah.
It's not like an open world. It's like a very linear game where you follow a set path and you sometimes go into these open areas where you can't really go anywhere but there. It's like a box, a little, a circle, I don't know, maybe a big arena if you're lucky, because they're going to spam an abysmal amount of enemies at you, and that sucks. It's just horrible. Like, oh, bro. It drove, and it doesn't help that me and my friend played on the second to last hardest difficulty.
Oh, geez,
we played on hard, and we made it quite far. We made it to the end, but they kept spamming so much like garbage at us that
Like
we
they didn't
literally
want you to
could
finish?
not. Yeah. There are these enemies that are basically giant, like, the giant winged vampires, the basic stock. And they have a special move where if you're like trying to focus on the other ones, the other enemies, they can just fly up into the air and do some stupid little blood ritual thing where they just heal themselves and everything in the arena. And
that is so frustrating. Oh my gosh.
And at the end game where we had to switch the difficulty from hard to normal at least was because they threw 3 of the bastards at you.
Arson is
and that's not before throwing 4 of those disgusting leech-headed shield bastards. And if you died, you had to do it all over again.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I would rage too, probably. Ugh.
It was so terrible. And that isn't even
really enjoyed it.
That isn't even counting the glitches, the crashes, and the glitched dialogue in the game.
Oh, man.
It was so terrible.
Raven's correct though. I feel like you enjoyed it a lot.
No, it was so terrible that it actually was pretty fun until the end. The end was absolute garbage. I would not do that again. And then the ending is just one of those like, bam, you beat the bad guy, and then you do like a cool little, interaction with your things, and then that's it. Not even like an aftermath of what happened.
Beat the enemy, do a dab, and you're gone. It's like, okay, we're
done.
Yep,
you just walk off screen, and that's the end.
Jeez, that's crazy. Okay.
I'm really hoping that Flerp is having a better experience than me. He's probably playing it solo. It's probably way better for him than it was for us. But holy,
he got that back. He got that out of his system, at least for now. That's kind of like
I was more lenient, I suppose. It was my friend that seemed like he was about to tear his TV off the desk and just chuck it out the window, or perhaps in his brother's room.
That's so funny. All right, so let's bring Flerp back.
Bring Flerp back in. Like, turn on your camera and lure him back in with a finger wave or something.
I've been like every 15 seconds, I would turn my headset I would turn it up real quick to see if you were still talking about it, and then I would quickly turn it back down.
So that sounds like the most amazing game I've ever heard of. I'm excited for you to play.
I'm gonna say that I heard a little bit about what you were saying.
Jeez, I was trying to protect you.
I didn't hear anything about the end game, because I would have found you and I would have hurt you, because I'm honestly loving every second of this game.
Damn, you're having a better time than we ever did this.
Now, Flerp,
maybe it's because I'm playing it solo.
There we go. There we go.
Definitely solo. If you're gonna play the game, play it solo. Do not play it co-op. Worst experience ever.
Well, that's interesting. Let's hear Arson's next choice first before I say any smart comments that I'm gonna say. So go ahead, Arson.
I was gonna ask Flerp really quick how his experience was on his side of things, because how's the combat? How's the story? Any glitches or
The
all that?
combat has literally been flawless. I haven't noticed any glitches. I got stuck one time opening a chest. But that was it. Otherwise, the game has run and performed perfectly.
All right, no, yeah, that it is in co-op. I don't know why, but they absolutely flubbed up the co-op.
What platform are you playing on, Flerp?
PC.
That may be the difference, because I think Arson played it on
That may
PlayStation.
be the difference, but I've seen other people play on PlayStation, and they say it was fine. So it is probably just playing it solo.
Yeah, it probably is.
But yeah, there's the one that a recent one, by the way.
Yeah.
That really grinded our gears. But
You know,
the
it really
next
grinds
one,
my gears. Sorry.
the next one is actually a game that has been around for a while. It is a game that my friends are actually playing right now, or have been playing as of late, and I haven't really been playing with them that much because I absolutely fucking hate that game with every fiber of my being. But it's one of those games where if you do something good, it's just such an addicting hook that you can't help but just go back in to see if you can do it again. And this game came back out in 2016, and it's basically just like, it's like a game that has like a small following of people that will absolutely devour you alive. And they don't care if you're probably just playing the game or you came back from a long hiatus. And this game is called For Honor.
Oh, I've actually played that.
It is
fucking game.
It is a third-person fighting game where you play as different historical fighters like knights, Vikings, samurai, and as of recently they've added a new faction, but it's just their excuse to add more warriors from different time periods. You all, you pick your fighters from those different factions or eras, and you go in and start murdering the shit out of each other tactically. It is unique. It has a very unique gameplay loop.
No,
in the
it
sense,
doesn't.
well, yeah, not really, but
It
you
has
go
an
in,
annoying
you
fucking
fight,
gameplay loop.
you parry shit, you have to block and you have to guard break, and then it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing that if you don't dedicate your life to it, you're never gonna get good at it.
Yeah, either that or unless you make or unless you just play against bots forever. Because if you go up against people, you're going to get steamrolled. God, I really don't like talking about this game. It hurts my brain.
Well, I mean, a lot of people know what you're talking about, so like you don't have to go much further.
But no, I guess I will talk about some recent things since you guys have definitely never touched it since it probably launched, and maybe after the first year. They added a lot more characters. A lot of them have absolutely ridiculous kits. I don't know if you know about a character called the Hirokiri, but
No.
that is a character that nearly every player fears with their lives. Because she has a giant. She's from the samurai clan. Has a giant axe that she could just swing around like it's a damn candy cane that weighs like one freaking, basically the equivalent of one feather. She swings it so fast, even for heavy attacks. Some of them are unblockable, so you have to parry them. And of course, one of her special moves is an insta kill, so that's always fun.
Oh, that sounds like it's fun. I'll pass.
And and the apple just plops straight down, baby. They made a clone of Warden, which is a character that I only play because I'm a scrub. That is the Warmonger. She's basically just a better version of Warden. It's basically just spiraled downhill. It's so terrible. I'll give it one thing in that the executions are really good if you can manage to get them off.
If you can.
if you can. And that's really the only thing I look forward to when playing the game, is killing someone and then shooting them 50 feet away with my cannon. But I could never do that because I die, or I get ganked, or I don't know, the game fucking crashes. It's just terrible. You don't even, if you've heard of this game and you haven't played it, it's probably for the best that you don't play it.
I played
And
it
if
like
you do know what
once.
it's about, then you're better off staying as far away as possible.
Well, with some of the
Because-
older generation groups that I played with early on in the Discord days, pre-streaming and pre all the other stuff, I had this friend that used to game jump all the time, and he got me playing For Honor for like a second, and I was like, "Nope, I'm good."
You need to cut all ties with them.
Yeah, I raged before I had to rage. That's how that went. So
If you want to play For Honor but good, just play Naraka Blade Point.
I don't even know what
What
that
he
is.
said. What he said. I don't even know what the damn game is, but it's infinitely better than whatever fucking
So,
For Honor's got. going.
Naraka Blade Point is it's one of those battle royale style games, except it's
You lost me at Battle
with
Royale.
like ninjas and other different types of warriors throughout time, and it's the exact same thing. You just run around and beat the dog shit out of people, except with a combat system that's actually fun and doesn't suck. So
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, a combat system that doesn't suck? What? That is possible?
yeah, it's kind of insane. Evil West has one.
Huh.
And I've heard nothing but good things about that game. So
We heard all sorts of good things about that game.
like yeah. So let me just bring up really quick the game that Arson rage quit before he even like played it. Arson, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Suicide
If I forgot.
Squad kill the Justice League.
Okay, yeah, no. That isn't even just madness. That's just like absolute disdain.
Yeah.
I just can't look at that. I can't look at its direction. It's
I just
it's
felt
not
like I was gonna bring that up just for the
not
heck of it.
worthy of attention, and you should shame yourself for even bringing it up in this episode.
Dude, the way you raged on that during the Batman episode, man, you just like went at it. So it was like, come on now, we gotta.
It deserved it. And they have the gall to bring a knockoff freaking Jonkler. What the hell?
See, here we go again. But anyways, I didn't mean to open up that can, but yeah, let's continue on.
Look, don't play For Honor. That's basically the consensus. That's if you want to play a really good freaking immersive medieval game, go play Chivalry or Chivalry 2. Those are really good medieval games.
Just throw barrels at everybody.
Yeah, throw barrels
wait.
or like get down and punch people in the groin. That's what I
Donkey
did.
Kong. What?
What?
Throw barrels at everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do
Chivalry, you just
Uh,
pick up
Chivalry.
barrels and throw them at people. That's it.
So it's Donkey Kong. 3D.
No. It's way better.
Oh, okay.
Chivalry is super fun in the sense that you could just spam your war cry.
Yeah, you can spam your war cry, and depending on what kind of character you're playing, the war cry is fucking hilarious. But also just the meta in that game is just chucking barrels at people.
Jeez.
It's
All
fun
right.
though. You can actually lop the limbs off your opponent.
But you can still
Nice.
fight while missing limbs, and it's a lot of fun.
It's only a flesh wound.
'Tis but the flesh wound.
But yeah, those are the two gripes that I've got as of now. I have more, but I relegated them to two because obviously, if I picked another one, we would have definitely gone over the limit.
I don't know. It may be worth it. So, anyways,
No, not to me, not to my mental health. All right, Flerp, take it away before I lose more brain cells.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk about technically 4, but 2 of them are just really quick. First one that I'm gonna bring up, I'm not gonna go into any detail on it. All I'm gonna say is Sekiro, giant snake, fuck you.
Oh no.
Then we're gonna move on.
So let's
to,
go back to that for a second. No, I'm just kidding.
my
What do you mean
move
by
on
that?
to my favorite game. My favorite game of all time.
Resident Evil 4?
Resident Evil 7.
7, sorry.
So Resident Evil 7, you know, it was the initial switch to first person, and I thought that I was gonna hate it, but I ended up loving it. It's actually, to be completely honest, I hope that they continue making first person ones. But also this was the first Resident Evil game that ever made me rage uncontrollably. Mainly because of a boss fight in the game, the Marge 2 boss fight. Basically you get put into like this greenhouse, and in this greenhouse there's like no fucking ammo. The entire fight is a game of cat and mouse, and no matter how much ammo you dump into this bitch, she just won't die. I actually tried and failed so many times trying to win this fight that I ended up returning the game to GameStop. I now own it on every console that it's available on, and I don't even own some of those consoles, but it's my absolute favorite game. I speedrun it now, which I kind of wish I didn't, because I can't play the game casually anymore. But yeah, Resident Evil 7, that game had so many points that, you know, whether it was puzzles or whether it was fights or just stupid bullshit that pops up out of nowhere. It was dumb. Sometimes the game rewards you for going slow, and it punishes you if you go too fast, so it'll change enemy spawns. Which is kind of interesting. But that's really all I'm gonna say on Resident Evil 7.
Really quick question. What's your favorite boss?
My favorite boss in Resident Evil 7?
Yeah.
Probably Jack 2. And that's the second fight against Jack where you're retrieving the red dog head. And the reason why I like that part is it calls a lot of horror references. Like when yeah. You know, that fight had a lot of it just had a lot of different horror references. The entire game did. But Jack 2 was probably my favorite, especially speedrun wise, because it's a really cool fight to watch in the speedrun. Along with Jack 3. Jack 3 is another really fun one to watch in the speedrun. Which, if you guys have questions, I'll show you eventually. But after that, we're going to give it to the game that introduced me to raging while playing video games. I was 11 years old. That game is Star Fox Adventures for the GameCube. So, the reason why I got introduced to raging is this game had puzzles where you would get dropped into, like, you know, a dark maze, and you need to kind of just work your way out of it, and it's filled with bullshit. And the poor controls and the camera angle made some of the puzzles feel just impossible for my 11-year-old mind. And I ended up actually breaking my first controller playing this game. And also, this is when I kind of found out that I raged harder than I thought I ever would. Because it turns out that the handle on the back of a GameCube is really good for throwing it up against the fucking wall. And then that's pretty much all I have to say on that one. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about is just real quick, just going to touch on it. Rock, paper, scissors. Game's bullshit.
Game's bullshit because you lost.
It's rigged.
Yeah, and then I had to go last.
You should have did Spock. You would have won.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That it then?
Yeah, I do have a comment. I think it's hilarious how we Arson and myself both brought up games that Flerp's currently playing. I just found that hilarious. It's like, hold on. Also, before we end, I definitely want to talk about Dead by Daylight.
Are we allowed to talk about this without Amanda here?
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, it's her fault for not being here.
Okay.
That's when I rage quit before I even started.
Exactly.
I haven't even downloaded that.
Dead by Daylight. How I love to hate you.
Well, I love
Dead
to
by
hate you
dog
too.
shit.
I always pull Flerp back in somehow. It's hilarious. It's great. But so that's probably the biggest game that I love to hate and hate to love. It goes both ways on that one.
You got like a symbiotic relationship with that thing.
I do. You're not wrong. I don't get it.
Can't
You know.
exist without it.
Oh my gosh! But I love it so much. And then I
Are
hate
you
it.
the symbiote or are you the host?
Yes.
That's the closest answer I'm gonna get.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we are. Sorry. But
Wow.
but yeah, Dead by Daylight is one of those games that you could bring up in every topic of loving it or hating it or raging or I guarantee there's not one person on this earth that's played that game that's just like, oh, I just had nothing but good experiences and I've never rage quit and it's amazing. There's no way. Like
it's the greatest game on the planet. What are you talking about?
I have many opinions on Dead by Daylight. It is my most loved, hated game.
Yeah.
And the reason being is not the game itself. The game itself does have I do have some gripes with it, but
The people.
my main problem
Always the people.
It is always the people.
It's the devs. It's the fact, it's the devs and it's the community, because I don't understand why the devs don't just tell people, get fucking good. Like, there have been so many times where Dead by Daylight has been perfectly balanced, but because of the fact that every single Dead by Daylight player feels super entitled and has this problem called baby rage, they complain on the internet until the devs finally see it and they're like, oh, our game must not be balanced. And instead of saying, get fucking good, they change the game. Now, I have had to relearn how to play Dead by Daylight like 5 times.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because they keep destroying perks. They keep changing what perks do. They keep adding new ones, which I'm fine with. Add new perks. That's dope. I'm completely fine with stuff like that. But the fact that it feels like every other week, killer mains or survivor mains bitch and bitch until the devs go, oh, okay, well, we'll just make it so these people are happy. And then 2 weeks later, killers aren't happy. So they changed the game again. And it's just, I just really wish that the devs would just tell the community to shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's definitely back and forth, for sure.
Like, you don't see fucking, you don't see other super popular multiplayer games changing their game every week because not everybody's happy with it. And it's the fact that they do it so often is what makes people just hate this game. Like, to be completely honest, back when they were like, oh, Dead Hard's ruining the game, so we're going to change it. Dead Hard wasn't ruining the game. Killers just didn't know how to bait Dead Hard. And instead of learning how to look up, they bitched until it became a useless perk.
Yeah.
Well,
my biggest... I opened up a really big can on this one for Flerp. But one of my biggest gripes about the changes that they made, because I'm a survivor main, everybody knows that, but I do dabble as killer. And I'm not bad, but, I wouldn't say I'm good. But my biggest gripe was these two things.
Good when you killed my whole fucking team.
Well,
That's how me and Phoenix met.
Yeah.
He killed my entire team, and then I saw he was a TTVer, and I went into his stream to talk shit, but then I saw he was a nice guy.
It's a hell of a way to meet.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. So,
but I couldn't really talk shit because, like, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, he didn't tunnel, he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
like,
I don't tunnel in camp. That's my thing.
You played Doctor though. Isn't that enough?
That is enough. But usually it's good Doctor, unless my crew tells me otherwise. But anyways, let me finish what I was gonna say before we go like an hour and 30,000 minutes. But number one, the biggest, like I said, I main Survivor, but I think this was wrong the way they changed the what was it, the Mori system. I think they should have left the Mori system alone and made it a little bit more frightening, because you get hooked once, and the thought to be able to get Mori'd after that is like you're on your toes, So that's my one killer side. My other side is the hatch. The way they changed the hatch just pissed me off. So for the last few months, from the time it leaked to the time that happened, we would go in as a whole team and use nothing but keys and escape through the hatch as many matches as we could, just because the way they changed that, if you guys remember correctly, the way the hatch used to work, it would work depending on how many gens that you would that would show up, or gens that were completed, and people that were either alive or not alive. So if you say, for instance, if you had 4 gens done and 4 people alive, I think 4 gens done, 4 people alive, no, 3 people alive, it would be basically the hatch would show up and you could find it. And I don't know if you guys remember that whole thing where like the hatch, where you could always find where the hatch was because it would elevate you off the ground. Do you remember that? Like, even before you even see where the hatch was, if you stepped over it and you like just levitate it, that's where the hatch was going to spawn. Did you ever remember seeing that?
No.
Yeah.
No,
so,
I don't.
Oh yeah, no, that was like the greatest like hack ever, and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
But yeah, so anyways, those are my 2 biggest gripes. I love Dead by Daylight, and I hate Dead by Daylight. And Flerp, I think you hit the nail right on the head with talking about how devs cater to killers and survivors. But to me, I do feel like they cater to the killers more than the survivors, but that's my opinion. I know it's both ways. I know the devs try to make things right with the survivors and try to make things right with the killers, but they go overboard. Let the game be played, So
Can they just add more game modes, please?
oh, that'd be nice. I did like that Lights Out. I thought that was pretty fun.
30 to 40% of the devs' problems would disappear if they just added a new fucking game.
I agree. Oh, and one last thing that I forgot to mention, because I didn't think about it until we were talking about puzzles. And I'm not going to go into it too much, but one of the games I love the most, Guild Wars 2, the most frustrating thing about that is their jumping puzzles. So yeah, if you guys don't know what that is, look it up.
Well, at the end of the day, when it comes to Dead by Daylight, just know I hate you all. You are all equally worthless in my eyes. Nobody gets special treatment. You know what you signed up for when you launched the damn game. You all suck.
Arson's not wrong on
Even
that.
me.
He's not.
I've seen him play.
All squirming and wriggling in the mud together. And that's what you chose when you launched the game. Oh.
Well, I mean, it's a game you love to hate and you hate to love, like we said, but we.
So anyways, Phoenix, let's talk about Fortnite.
Do you want this to go on for a lot longer?
That's your choice, Chief. You made the executive decision that you wanted this episode to be shorter, but I gave you the nibble. Yeah, who's the fisherman now?
But see, that's the thing, is I've never really rage quit at Fortnite. I just don't like it.
That's the point.
So I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. I've played it because I've been forced to, mainly. but I just don't like it. I'd rather not play it, and that's my story. Like I've never really raged at it, because even the last time we played as a group, like I can't say I contributed 100%, but there's a few times I did really good. But even the last time I played it, we won 11 out of 12 matches in a row. Like that was awesome, but I still would rather not play it. I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't like the art style that much. I refuse to play the wall mode, like building mode or whatever, because that's crap. And if there's anything to rage about, it would be that. Like, I've never played it once. I've seen it played, and I was like, how the heck can you build a wall and do 0.5 seconds? You know. But anyways, so that's pretty much all I got.
Took the bait and extended the episode by 2 minutes.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, real quick. So going back and talking about games that we rage quit on. I went ahead while I was sitting here and checked my RetroArch library. I actually have both Zillion and Zillion 2 already in my library. So guess what I'm gonna be playing?
You're gonna be playing what's that evil game? Evil West. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's a great game. I'm gonna play that.
It's a fantastic game.
Play with a friend, man. You should play with Phoenix.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I mean, on paper it looks pretty good though. So that's kind of cool, like a old style West game fighting like the supernatural. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's all we have to say. That's everything good. Great episode, gentlemen. We've come to the end of our time. Thanks for joining us on this crappy episode.
Thank you guys so much.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Make sure to slap that like button.
Slap it hard. Slap it, daddy,
Nailed
with
it.
the milk. I mean, what?
I can't stand people that do that shit. if I pop on if I'm looking for something on YouTube and I click on the video, and they're like, "Hey, what's up, everybody? That's your baby." It's like, oh, fuck you, dude. Just give me the fucking dude that barely speaks English talking about it. He's gonna give me what I need.
They're all like, subscribe, like, and follow, and stalk me, and yeah, my address is this. Come hang out.
And love me. You must love me.
I'm trying to save my brother from choking on this food piece. What do you mean you want me to like and subscribe?
Oh my god.
What do you mean Grandma's not responding? What do you mean?
I think I found our cold open.
Yeah, right at the end.
Wow.
Oh, holy crap, that's awesome.
They gotta stick around if they want to get through.
Shoot.
I know you're trying to save your brother's life, but we'll be back right after we talk about Raid Shadow Legends.
Right after Raid Shadow Legends and these 2 ad breaks.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Real quick, before I tell you how to treat a rattlesnake bite, here's a word from our sponsor, Puzzles and Dragons.
Son of a mother chicken, I'm already freaking... It's hitting my system. I'm dead.
We're going into shock.
Oh my
gosh. Can I survive at my aunt's for 3 weeks and not want to kill myself?
Okay, so future episode coming up. We're doing this. We're doing this. The whole episode.
No, yeah, there's an episode idea right there. A media episode. Things we fucking hate about other content creators and ads.
We don't have 16 hours to do it though. We'll make time.
Anyways,
welcome back to our 16-part series.
That's a tease for one of our future episodes, maybe. Who knows? I don't care.
Yeah.
I feel
Anyways,
like all the
like I
good
said-
content on it.
What'd you say, Flerp? What was that? I missed it.
I said I feel like we've already burned all the good content on that episode.
Oh, we'll just rehash it, you know. So
Yeah,
okay. Anyways, you were saying something, Arson, before we went on a tangent.
Yeah, that's the end of our show. Again, thanks for coming by. If you want to learn more about these guys, check the links and all that crap. thanks again. I will probably not be here. Who knows? This timeline is all finicky. I sense a storm brewing. But other than that, we'll see you next time. I'm tired of saying it's like my go-to conversation extender.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't know how we're gonna end this. Flerp, do you have a way to end us?
Bye, fuckers.